Yo, bingers, welcome back. Thanks for clicking. We're doing something a little different today. You saw the thumbnail, read the description. I'm reviewing this DVD I got at Big Lots. Originally $5 on clearance, 50% off. That's $2.50 plus tax. 14 Avengers. I was a little worried at first because of the artwork on here. But I want to show you the inside here. Got some artwork on there, and then the Superman shield. I definitely, quick offhand, I definitely recommend this DVD if you got kids and you want to introduce them to Superman, or maybe like you run a comic shop and you got it set up where you can play DVDs on the TV, or if you enjoy Superman, Saturday morning cartoons, animation, anything like that. Okay, so getting on like the running time on here is like 264 minutes. So you get a lot of stuff. I'm going to let you read the back on your own as I go over the episodes on here. So starting off, you get The Last Son of Krypton parts 1 through 3, and that's from Superman, the animated series from 1996 with Tim Daly, Joe Hackett from Wings. Comment down below if you watched Wings and you remember the Big Sandwich episode. And the thing rewatching that I thought was interesting was the line that Clark Kent's mom throws out, about Batman, something about if that freak in Gotham. So that was pretty good, and that's a good introduction to Superman, because in there they show you, Jor-El, Superman's father, and the destruction of Krypton, the council, and the politics and all the stuff like that, and him being sent to Earth and being found by the Kents, growing up, being raised by them, discovering his powers, then moving to Metropolis, meeting Lois Lane, working for the Bugle, and becoming Superman, showing up in his outfit and saving the day, fighting his first supervillain monster thing or whatever like that. So that's cool. All right, then after that, you got Superman, a.k.a. the Mad Scientist, and that's the Fleischer cartoon from 1941. And this is a pretty good transfer. So, because I've seen lousy copies of that. And, the thing I found interesting about that is they give you a really brief summary of the origin. They don't show, like, cities or anything like that on the planet Krypton, but they show the planet exploding, the capsule being sent. And then it says he was found by a passing motorist and taken to a nearby orphanage. Then he grew up to become Superman, so they breeze over the whole Mom, Pa, Kent thing there. I thought that was interesting. I wish that was the only Fleischer cartoon they had on there. I wish they had the one with the flying robots, or some other one that I haven't seen a bunch of times. All right, after that, you get The Chimp Who Made It Big, and this is from the New Adventures of Superman 1966. It's only about 8 minutes long, but it's pretty neat to see. This has its own theme. Like, how many themes does Superman need, man? He's got so many themes out there. But, like, the colors were neat. Again, it was a good transfer. And, the story's funny because it starts out with this monkey in a capsule in space, and a meteor or a comet strikes a meteor and emits these type of rays that, and then the monkey comes back to Earth, and it grows really big, and it has kryptonite laser beam eyes that hurt Superman. I guess that's an homage to that classic issue there. All right, after that, we get into a long stream of Super Friends here, and the first one is Wanted Super Friends, and that's from 1978. I looked it up. That's season 3, episode 2. You got, Adam West doing the voice of Batman in here, and the Super Friends are crazy and strange, man. All the science and physics and logic and everything is just crazy. Lex Luthor has this dream machine that he's able to take over the Super Friends' minds when they're sleeping, but he fires the beam from the Darth Vader helmet looking thing in the swamp. He just fires it from there, and it goes up into the air, and then it comes back down, and Clark Kent's sleeping, and he takes over him as Superman, and he sends him to rob Fort Knox and steal all the gold or whatever like that. And then later on, he has another beam that turns all the people on Earth. It turns all the men into Bizarros and all the women into cheetahs. If you've ever watched Super Friends, you know the villain Cheetah, like how she looks in there, and like this is crazy. But that was neat. Then the one after that is a pretty good, if you're, Superman episode, is The Terror from the Phantom Zone. This one's from 1978 as well, and 3 Kryptonian criminals break out, Hole, Logar, and Romlock, and Superman's gotta save the day like Superman does. Okay, beauty. All right, then moving on to disc 2, you got the Krypton Syndrome. This one's from 1983, another Super Friends. When Superman gets sucked into a black hole and he ends up finding Krypton, he gets sent back in time right before it explodes, and he ends up doing something to the star so it doesn't explode and Krypton doesn't get destroyed. And then he goes back through the wormhole and finds out that Earth, not only Earth, but pretty much the universe has been taken over by Darkseid. So he has to go back through the black hole and stop himself from undo what he did. So that, and it's pretty weird how they kind of breeze over the whole thing that an entire planet full of people got blown up. It was like it was originally got blown up in the first place. So what's the deal? But whatever. But and that's pretty cool because that's a Superman heavy episode. He gets to go back to Krypton and see his parents, the whole 9 yards. All right, after that, it's a 2-parter, Super Friends Darkseid's Golden Trap, and the whole plot around this is gold kryptonite, and Darkseid's gonna get it and use it against Superman and the whole thing. And that's from 1984. And again, it's silly what they do with Darkseid on the Super Friends. And then after that is the Seeds of Doom from 1985. This is season 9. And I was confused about what was really Supermanish about it, but it did seem to introduce Cyborg. And I enjoyed that for that because I like that character and that was pretty cool. Oh, and a lot of these episodes, they do have Green Lantern and Hawkman, Samurai, El Dorado, characters like that, Apache Chief. All right. Next after that, you got the Death of Superman, and it ain't what you're thinking, because this one's also from 1985, season 9. And in it, Superman, oh yeah, Firestar is in this. And Superman gets exposed to kryptonite, and they think he's dead. And it's pretty neat. They put him in like a capsule of Spock dying at the end of Star Trek 2, the beginning of Star Trek 3. They put Superman in a little capsule, and Adam West, doing the voice of Batman, kind of says a couple words over top of his casket there. Pretty well delivered lines for a kid's cartoon, and I enjoyed that. But that's pretty cool. Love that it was called The Death of Superman. Of course, this was 85, before the 92 comic and all stuff like that. All right, and then the last 2 episodes is Justice League Unlimited. You have For the Man Who Has Everything. And this is newer stuff, so you guys might remember that. It's the one where Superman gets that parasite on his chest, and thinks he's living on Krypton and has a kid and stuff like that. And then the one after that is 2005, the Doomsday Sanction, and that's the one with Amanda Wheeler, and it gets all political and stuff like that. But those are pretty good episodes of Justice League Unlimited. And then you got Superman the Animated Series, you got modern stuff, you got Fleischer from 41, you got the New Adventures of Superman from 66, then you got Super Friends all through like 78 to 85. So you get a good range, and like I said, this is good for a kid. Like, you want to introduce your kid to Superman, you sit him down or her down, you pop in the first disc, whatever like that, and maybe birthday parties, stuff like that. Oh, a couple things. The one episode where the Terror from the Phantom Zone. I got this comic here from Ollie's for $3. It's Superman versus Zod, and it's a lot about the Phantom Zone, because the first one is Adventure Comics. There's where he's Superboy in the Phantom Zone, and there's another one in here where criminals break out because of the power of Jor-El kryptonite. General Zod again, of course, because it's featuring, but it's got a bunch of the other characters in here. And that's something interesting about the Phantom Zone. In the original concept of the Phantom Zone, it wasn't another dimension. What it did is it basically turned you into a phantom, a ghost. So you could travel through the normal world. Like here's Crypto passing through them. Now also, speaking of ollies, I got this, dude. I ripped the price tag off because it was wrapped in plastic. So I don't think I paid more than $8 for this. $7.99, maybe $8.99. Retail MSRP, that's manufacturer, so it's the retail price. $39.99, $40. It's Lois Lane, a celebration of 75 years. And there's some neat, a whole bunch of cool stuff in here. There's one where like Lois becomes black. You got older stuff. And of course they got the retelling of Action Comics #1. I gotta have like 8 copies of this. But if you guys are interested in this, leave a comment down below. Let me know. If you're interested in anything that I showed you in this one, leave a comment down below. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, were some great silly comics. Same with the Jimmy Olsen stuff. But alright, everybody. Bam! We're late. Okay, thanks. Have a good one, all that internet stuff. And until next time, I'll see you in the back issues. Or Big Lots.